What is going on? You're listening to episode 206 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and it's usually an NPC mini, but today we got a special guest, Gio from SwitchRPG.com. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? Hello, everyone. How's it going out there?
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. All right, well, hey, before we get started, guys, if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One, The Chair I'm Sitting In from OPSeat. If you go to n64josh.com/OPSeat, you automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you guys would like to pick up my book, Another Castle, which is now available on Kindle and as a paperback, and I got it yesterday. It's kind of surreal holding a book I wrote in my hand. I gotta say, it was kind of surreal. But if you go to n64josh.com/anothercastle, that is where you will find it. I'm no longer self-publishing it under through Gumroad or anything like that. The only place you can get it now is Amazon. So there you go. And if you're part of the, you could sign up for a free month of Amazon, like the Kindle Select or something like that, and you can actually read the book for free that way if you want to. So there you go. That's that. We're gonna jump on over to the announcements.
Hey, listen.
Okay, well, some of you guys heard from the last podcast that I am doing something called the Mario Project. And the Mario Project is a collaboration with you guys, the community. And so if you have memories with Mario, the NES, like important stuff, stuff from your childhood, things that maybe Nintendo got you through or Mario got you through, depending on the time of life or whatever, I want you to write these stories down. I'm going to compile all of these into a book called The Mario Project Volume 1. Okay? And so I plan on, I'll be doing the editing, things like that. You just got to focus on getting me a first draft. The first one is going to be 25 different stories from you guys. And I've already been getting a number of submissions. So don't wait. Get it in. Get it in, all right? It's try to make it as long as you can, but just tell a story. Tell a story. That's the point here. Just to kind of take a look back. I mean, it's been over 30 years that Nintendo's been going strong with the Nintendo Entertainment System and Mario and things like that. And so we have a lot of fun times that we can talk about. And so I think this will be a really fun project. You can go to n64josh.com/the Mario Project. And you can get more details there. All right. Also, guys, n64josh.com/calendar is going to have my streaming schedule, community game nights, tournaments, all that fun stuff. I do want you guys to know I'm actually heading out for vacation tonight. After this podcast is over, I will be heading out, and we're leaving a day early. I'll still be doing some IRL streams on Twitch. Lots of stuff coming up on the. I'll be writing articles and keeping up with news on n64josh.com. But I am going to just relax a little bit, right? Just kind of refill.
You need that break once in a while, right?
Yeah, just recharge the batteries, That's what we're going to do. So we'll be recharging those batteries. So it'll be good. It'll be good. But that's going to do it for our announcements. Let's get on over to the news. All right. Well, there's only just one little piece of news I want to talk about because the main focus of this show is going to be interviewing Gio, but I thought this might be a fun little topic to discuss. Nintendo, in the investors call that happened in March, one of the things they hinted at is more games like Tetris 99 coming to the Switch, Nintendo Switch Online, right? And so I've kind of talked about this a little bit on stream and things like that, but first of all, what'd you think of Tetris 99?
It was a very vibrant game. My early memories of Tetris weren't very good because I was just terrible at the game. But it just added a whole kind of like a new exuberance to it. It added a lot more competition. It seems like I have yet to really kind of get into it, but it seems like a really fun way to play Tetris. Kind of like a battle royale Tetris. That's essentially what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's And I think the one thing that they and I don't know when this was included in Tetris, but the T-spin, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't ever remember that being a thing in the games, back in the day that I used to play. And I've got to check even on this. I don't even know if it's a thing in the Puyo Puyo Tetris. I don't even know if you can do the T-spin on that game. I'm not sure. And so, the reason I don't know is I never tried it because it never worked. It never worked before. So that was an interesting addition, right? And so the thing is with more games like this, I thought it might be kind of fun to kind of do a little bit of speculating. One of the things that that we've talked about, like I said, in stream, things like that, is what if we saw some of the older titles like Super Mario Kart. What if Super Mario Kart was added not necessarily as just a SNES game, but it was added as like a 24-player race,
The last two, say, get knocked out, and then it just keeps going on and on.
Keeps going, yeah. Maybe even do 100, and you're just fighting for position, right?
That would be insane.
It could be
absolutely insane.
Yeah, it could be a lot of fun. So, are there any games like that? And again, we're just speculating here. Just kind of off the top of your head.
Sure. I mean, if you wanted to go straight, you could always try Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario is kind of very similar to something like Tetris. So, I mean, that could easily translate. But that Mario Kart, like, you got me wanting that game right now. Like, why is that not a thing, really?
Well, and they could add to it too, because like maybe you got like 4 tracks from Super Nintendo, then they throw on the 64 as DLC later.
No, you can't have items, right? That would be just be like,
throw them in. Like, let's maybe it's just shells. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what the
that would be chaos. Absolute chaos.
Can you imagine throwing lightning and shrinking 100 people and just driving over everyone?
Oh man, like you said, you got me wanting it. I mean, what else could they potentially do?
Well, one of the
battle royale style.
So it's like battle royale style. I mean, who knows?
That's essentially what I mean. I'll call it that. That's essentially what we have going on here, right?
Yeah. For as far as like Tetris and stuff, some of the other ideas that we've kicked around on stream and things like that is like a competitive Super Mario Brothers where it's you versus another Mario or you versus 100 Marios, and you're trying to get through the stages as fast as you can, right?
Okay.
And it's just one life, and whoever can get the furthest wins that round.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're not talking battle royale there, but something just kind of a race to the finish.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially. I mean, they have a little bit of that in Super Mario Run. I don't know if you've played that a little bit.
No, I have. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so when you're playing online, when you're playing that online component, you're essentially, it's kind of a shadow, but you're kind of racing to the end a little bit. Again, you're talking Mario on rails. It's really not like a regular type of Mario game.
Right.
But I mean, there's a little bit of what you were just talking about there. Now you could really do, if you wanted now. Are we going way back to the NES days? Are we going to the Super Nintendo days?
The beauty of it is they really could
it could be anything, really.
They could do anything with any of the past IPs, and I think that you'd have that pull, that nostalgia pull for some people, and for other people, what they may end up doing is making a game that maybe some people weren't interested in or don't care for those older games, that all of a sudden is like, oh, I'm really interested in this now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes I'm a collector, a Nintendo collector, so I'm just kind of looking around my room for inspiration real quick.
Oh yeah.
To see if anything kind of catches my eye a little bit.
Well, I mean, you got games like Star Fox that have the potential for possibly battle royale. It doesn't have to necessarily be 100 people, right? But I mean, if they wanted to take like a Fortnite approach and just throw 100 people into space and just let them dogfight it out, like that could be that could be something there.
You just do that. I mean, you could do that with GoldenEye if you wanted to really kind of go back there and
Oh my gosh! Oh,
GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, that
right.
sort of thing.
Yeah. The other thing too, like you said, you mentioned like Dr. Mario, which we know Dr. Mario is going to be coming to mobile, right? Dr. Mario World or whatever they were calling it.
Yep.
And so, but there's a handful of other puzzle games that are on the NES. You got Wario Woods, you've got Yoshi, was it Yoshi's Cookie, I believe, is the other one.
Yeah.
So there's a number of games that they could give this treatment to.
Sure.
And for me, like, did you have a Wii U or a 3DS or?
I had them both, yeah.
Okay. Did you play the NES remix?
I did not.
Okay, so that is that is a perfect game for Nintendo Switch Online, because what it does is it puts like the first level of Super Mario Brothers, but it might add like ice and like rain or something. Like it changes things up, but you're trying.
So what you remember, because some people have that first level kind of memorized, so
right.
It really just kind of adds a whole new dimension to things then.
Yeah, and so but then they want you to beat it as fast as you can, and then you have a leaderboard.
So time trials. Okay.
So you could do. They could take NES Remix, throw it up on Nintendo Switch Online with the online leaderboards.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a great fit.
I mean, it's kind of what they're doing with a lot of their NES games. They're kind of adding, the online component. I think they just added Excite Bike versus Excite Bike or something, or they're adding it anyways. So they're trying to add online components to a lot of their Nintendo games, and they're adding the leaderboard kind of with it. So they're essentially doing the NES Classic type of thing already.
Yep. Yeah.
With some games, not all of them, but.
Yeah, it's the thing that was interesting, like with the NES Remix, is you might play the first level of Mario with Link.
No.
Right, and they'll
right.
or they'll I don't quote me on that, but I'm just kind of they might give you like Excite Bike, but it's like 200cc where you're going way faster than you ever did before, or maybe it's slower and you're trying to get the fastest time, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It could be that you're always at the brink of overheating, so you have to really do some
manage your acceleration.
Yeah. And it's been a while since I played the game, but like it was one of those games that I couldn't put down because all of a sudden like I'm enjoying Clue Land for the first time, or Ice Climbers. You know what I mean? Because it was like it was just these little bite-sized chunks of the game, but you were trying to get the 3 stars by getting a certain time, right? And if you got the best time, you'd get like rainbow stars, and they were like all sparkling and things like that. And so
made you feel good inside.
It was just like this. We didn't want to move on. I mean, I think it was one of those like holiday titles where my uncle and I literally sat down and just did not stop playing NES Remix until we completed everything. And then the next year we did it with Remix 2.
Wow! It became some sort of like family tradition.
It kind of did, yeah.
And it brings you back to what the NES used to be, kind of a sit-down couch game, couch co-op type of game. So
absolutely, yeah.
I think we're missing that, that sort of couch co-op type of stuff.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the NES Online allows me to play, hockey, wrestling, Double Dragon. Although it's unfortunate Double Dragon is not 2 players at the same time, And so we need like Contra and stuff, right, to make its way over. So, which I believe it is. I'm just not sure if it has the online component. It actually may already. It may.
Contra?
Did Contra make it to in that Konami collection?
I don't think so. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think so.
I'd have to check as well. I know there's a handful of games in that $20 package. Some of them are really good, but yeah. So, it's just. I think, because here's the other thing. What are your thoughts on Nintendo Switch Online?
For me, I just use it to back up my saves. Ultimately, that's all I'm doing, because I'm with SwitchRPG. A lot of my gameplays are very long, and if I'm losing like 60 hours of gameplay, I'm gonna lose 60 hours of my life that I'll never get back. So I need that component where it's backing up my saves, and they kind of got you there, which is unfortunate. But the Switch Online is missing. I still feel it's missing a lot of really important components, like your voice chat, messaging between your friends. It's missing quite a bit of stuff. But if you're talking the games that they're giving you, I can't complain, man. I was playing a few of them with my 6-year-old son, and he was having a great time. And it's the first time he's experienced it when I experienced it, like, I don't know, like 30 years ago. So it's cool to kind of see that with him. But I mean, I think for the features that I'm really interested in, I do like the NES, so the games that are coming out with it, and kind of the little, their remix of it, and the save backing up is probably the most important feature, I feel.
So I'm wondering if, because I'm kind of wondering if the cloud saves maybe need to be separate from the online. Just give that to your customers, right?
Or allow me to save it on a thumb drive, or save it locally. Whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right. So but you feel, I mean, because this is it's one of these debates that, like, I thought it was kind of like dead, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing more and more people talk about the Nintendo Switch Online and talking about it in a negative light. I'm like, look, it's $35 for me, right. And like, I think I've used almost every account except for one for different family members that have a Switch, and so, like, I'm like, this is still a fraction of what Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus costs. And yeah, we do get a fraction of the games. I understand that. Tetris 99 was a nice surprise. I think more games like that would definitely get people a little more excited about it. But the majority of my game time is playing online. Like, the fact that it was free for so long, I think, was a bonus. And, $20 a year to be able to play Mario Kart and Smash and Splatoon. I mean, that seems like a pretty small price to pay, but
you're definitely right. The price to pay to me, that's negligible. I mean, you're spending that on a few cups of coffee a month. That's not the debate. The debate is they're missing kind of important features.
Right.
I think when you're playing, for example, you're playing Mario Kart, or you're playing kind of a team-based tactical type of game, say, for example, Warframe, and you want to communicate with your team members, it's near impossible. And in fact, it is impossible. Like, how do you do that? You just can't. And that's kind of important.
Mario, so I've actually had some good conversations with people in Smash. We've had lots of times messing around with people in Mario Kart, because it's as simple as just your phone chimes as soon as somebody wants to start voice chat, and you just hit the button and then you're in chat, right? But you've got to have, like, I have I could actually run my phone, like my headphone jack into the auxiliary of my Astros, and then I can do voice chat that way. It's essentially what I do with Discord right now anyway, right?
Sure.
But I think the main thing that I would like to see is that ability to send messages, at least to your friends list. Right. I mean, you have, that's some of the things that are great about, like, Xbox Live, and I think PlayStation has something similar. I just am not familiar with it. But, like, you got, like, LFG. You can do looking for group. You can literally put a post out to your friends list that says, hey, I'm looking for people to play Destiny. I'm looking for people to play Warframe. I'm looking for people to play Fortnite. That would be nice. That would really be nice, because it does. There are some things that feel a little bit behind the times, and we finally got a second game added to the app with Smash, and that's I mean, it's got some steps in the right direction as far as you can post videos, and it kind of has become its own little social network. I think we're going to see a ton of improvement with Mario Maker. I think that's how we're going to get levels, how we're going to be able to play each other's levels and things like that. Right. It's all going to be done through the app, possibly even the ability to leave comments and things like that on people's stages, like they had in the Miiverse on Wii U. But I don't know, and I know people want that kind of stuff, that social aspect of things. So yeah, hopefully, and I don't know about you, but I kind of think that this year E3 is going to be a huge year for Nintendo, not in new games, but in, hey, here's an update for the Switch, for the eShop that we're going to see, getting through the eShop easier. The online is going, the app is going to improve. Maybe include messaging. Maybe include some things that should have been there from the beginning.
So some quality of life improvements.
I think it's going to be, and the only reason I think that is because I think we're going to probably see like a Metroid Prime trilogy,
trailer or something.
Announced. I mean, there's going to be games, right? But I think a lot of the games that we're going to see are going to be like quarter one. Not their. It'd be quarter three or quarter four. Yeah, for Nintendo, which is after like January, I believe, right? So
yeah. But do you think they should be saving something like a quality of life or quality of life improvements for E3? I mean, I kind of, unless they're really important, I feel like,
and maybe it's Treehouse. I don't know that's necessarily the main direct that they do, but maybe like Treehouse stuff or something.
So after their kind of direct thing.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like it's such a big deal to people that I'm wondering if they wouldn't be an exciting thing that it's like, oh, finally it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, I that's just kind of the way I'm leaning right now, though. Is like I'm with so many games being announced and so many games coming out, like we kind of know the big hitters. I think we're gonna get to see Animal Crossing and obviously Luigi's Mansion, the games that we've been anticipating. There's gonna be some last year Mario Party was kind of a surprise title, things like that. Daemon X Machina was also another one, and so. I think there's still a little bit of room for that stuff. It has to be there. But the other thing, I think not just quality of life, but I think DLC is going to be a pretty big focus of E3 this year. It's just, again,
for any particular game or?
Oh, I think fingers crossed, but I think Mario Party needs a big update and needs content, needs online.
Because I mean, at this point with Mario Party, I've played everything multiple times.
Exactly.
Like, give me something else, whether it's paid DLC or free DLC, which Nintendo's been really good about. But give me something.
Yes, and then what I think Mario Kart. It's the most sold game on the Switch. I would assume that DLC is going to be coming out, especially since it's still it's like the top of the charts every month, and you're like, okay, they're not putting out 9 anytime soon. Like it's they might as well just throw some DLC at this and just get people more excited for it.
I mean, that's like the go-to game. Like you buy a Switch, you buy Mario Kart. It seems like they go kind of hand in hand.
I like you. So, but yeah, I mean, and so just things like that. Maybe, I mean, what's Odyssey? What's Odyssey been doing? It's just been chilling, right? It's like the second most sold game on the Switch. Why not throw some DLC at it? So
I mean, the last update they had was the balloon, Luigi's balloon thing?
Yeah, I mean they've supported it with costumes throughout, but like the major one was the hide the balloon that immediately everybody cheated and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of lost its luster, to be honest. But
a little bit. So that's, I mean, that, and the reason for that is too, Nintendo said a while back that like, hey, we do want to focus on games as a service, right? And so I think that could happen. I could be completely off, and they just may hit us with just an onslaught of games and everything. I mean, there's a lot of games that we don't know much about that we're definitely going to learn more about at E3, and that seems to kind of be Nintendo's MO. It's like, okay, here's, we knew Smash was coming, and then, I mean, last year's E3, the main focus was like
Smash.
It was big time. It was like 35 minutes of a 45-minute video, right?
Right.
And so
and before that they did it with was it just Mario Odyssey? I mean, they kind of have this kind of highlight whatever game it is. I don't know what this year is going to be. I would think. I mean, it's like a month away. You would kind of know, right?
It's either got to be Animal Crossing or Pokemon, but both are going to be huge. So
yeah, I don't think they need to they've oversold, this oversold Odyssey. They didn't really need to hype us up at all about that. And then they, with the last E3, they didn't need to hype us about
Not like they did. Yeah, it was
Smash Bros.
Yeah,
It didn't need to do it.
It was a lot of info, and for some people, I think it was too much info. Even
It was
not,
a lot.
Not just the overall amount, but like, are you guys going to save anything for us as a surprise? You know, like, is there going to be any? It was like they kind of just laid everything out. So
I kind of wanted like new announcements. I mean, all right, I'm like, enough of the Smash Bros. Let's give me something else. Give me something else.
And I'm hoping I'm hoping they kind of got the feedback from that last year, and that things will improve. So, well, there you go. From Tetris 99 to E3 predictions. We just
that's how we do it, right?
that's how we do it. But hey, we're gonna move on into finding out about you, Gio. So so here we go.
Here we go!
All right, so Gio, you're from Nintendo Switch RPG. Let's talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, from SwitchRPG. Basically, the way we started off, it was Nintendo Switch RPG database where we kind of told you about every single Nintendo Switch RPG, basically from the amount of space it takes up on your hard drive, when it's releasing, the description, game screens. We had that all, but then we kind of split. So now we're just doing news, reviews. I do the content creation for YouTube. I also do the podcast as well. So we're kind of just, our main focus is kind of that end of thing. And then the database portion is now called Switch List. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's essentially kind of like an eShop management tool. But as far as the Switch RPG is concerned, it's basically, it's what you think. It's Nintendo Switch RPGs, any and all. We love them all there.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about you, my friend. What is your history with Nintendo? Where did it all start?
Well, I'm almost 40 years old. So my history with Nintendo, it goes back from over 30 years easily. I remember getting my first Nintendo. I was 1989. So I think Nintendo came out 84. So it was a few years old at that point. But 89, my parents, now we weren't rich or anything, but my parents struggled to pay for that for me. And that first console kind of means the most to me because I know what my parents did to get that. So it started way back in 89. My birthday is right around Christmas, so they kind of did the whole combination, birthday, Christmas thing, which I got, there were many of those gifts, but whatever.
It sounds like Christmas was screwed out of a present day, more or less.
Yeah, so that's what happened with me. And it still happens to me to this day. I'm not bitter about it. I'm not going to cry about it later in my pillow. But anyways, yeah. So, I mean, that's where it all started. It started there with playing, with my father, who was kind of passed on at this point. But, we were playing Mario, he was into soccer, so we played Goal, which looking back is a terrible soccer game. So, yeah, that's where it all began.
That's like, so my dad was a huge just football fan, so we had
Tecmo Bowl or whatever.
Well, we had Tecmo Bowl, of course, right? Actually, I don't know that we ever owned it. It was the one we would rent all the time. We had John Elway's quarterback, which was so bad, but it was like, this is all we had. So that's it, man. Yeah, we played a lot of that. But yeah, we would rent Tecmo Bowl often, and that in fact, the vacation I'm going on, last year I took the NES Classic, and that was the one game that we fired up and played.
Awesome. Don't you miss those days going to like a store and like reading the back of the box to learn about the game and just kind of, I think this sounds just interesting, and then taking it home all excited, and it's John Elway's quarterback. Like, it's bad. It's bad. But you have to suffer with it for whatever amount of whatever the term is. It's just, those are the days.
I remember always going, why is there a quality seal on some of these games? Like, this, who checks these things? I would even at such a young age, I remember just being like, does nobody play these ahead of time? Like,
yeah, what's going on here?
Who thought this was fun? Because that person's fired. All right.
Right.
So like, that
wasn't the quality check. It wasn't a fun check. Yeah. The game works. Put it on the shelf.
I guess that's what the quality seal means, apparently. Cool.
Right.
Cool. So the next question was favorite console. You already said the NES.
Well, actually, that's my most memorable console. My favorite console has got to be the Super Nintendo. I think it's probably one of the best Nintendo consoles. Personally, I feel it's got the best games. It's where most of them really hit it out of the park. When you have your Super Mario World, I feel like that's really well. Mario 3 was really good, but that Super Mario World is really what made that series take off, in my opinion.
Let's camp right there for a second.
All right.
Do you remember, or can you maybe give some detail of like when Super Mario World was being marketed? Like, do you remember just that time? And like, just for instance, like I just remember the first time seeing like the way the stages looked, and just the multiple, like the foreground, background, things like that. Like, I think the one thing that sticks out in my mind the most is when Mario could climb those chain link fences and then punch one of the squares, and then you'd be on the back side of it, and it was like,
yeah, it added dimension to it a little bit, I mean, Mario 3 had a little bit of that. I don't know if you remember the little trick way if you hold down on like that
the white blocks,
yeah, so it kind of had a little bit of that, but Mario World really kind of, it added a lot. It added Yoshi. It added a bunch of other stuff that kind of just took off from there.
And there was just so much hype. I just remember that. I remember the hype with Yoshi.
My
was
Nintendo
just...
Power magazine, just reading that thing and just falling in love with it.
Yes.
Falling in love with it.
Do you remember seeing the playthroughs, and in every screenshot Mario's like jumping in the same spot because they had to just move the camera a little, take the picture, move the camera, take the...
Oh man, those are awesome. Those were awesome.
So, favorite game or series?
Favorite game or series? Now, I'm gonna have to. This is a tough one. I don't like answering these questions. Favorite game series is good. Series has got to be Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
I think throughout its time, maybe there are a few duds in there, but that's okay. I can handle a few duds. I mean, out of
which ones are the duds?
A lot of your the Triforce Heroes. I mean, there are a lot of kind of spin-offy ones, and I'm gonna say this. That's kind of a little sacrilegious to say. I think Ocarina of Time is a little overrated. Overrated.
What's your Twitter so people can go ahead and tweet at you?
They can. My Twitter handle, I can take it all day at the Nerd Basement. No problems there. Ocarina of Time is probably the most overrated Zelda game.
I can't even like.
You can't handle that.
I don't even. Oh my gosh! Look at the chat right now. Run Jump Stomp goes to get his choking gloves. Show after work's just done. Like
the best Zelda game is Link to the Past, without a doubt. Again, we're just talking opinions here, okay? Everyone's got them, and Ocarina of Time has its place.
I got to get to the bottom of this. Okay, we got to get to the bottom of this. So, when did you get Ocarina of Time?
This is going to lead down a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. Okay,
we got to figure this out. We got to get.
That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna do this. This is what you want. All right, cool. So I got it with my N64. Okay, so I got it with my N64. Along with a few other games, and the N64 did not last very long in my house because it was, how do I say it? It looked ugly. The games on it didn't interest me at all. I'm
dying inside right now. It's okay. Keep going.
I knew we were gonna get into this. I actually knew it. I'm like, if it goes down this road, I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. The N64 is probably Nintendo's worst console.
The Virtual Boy is better.
Okay, we'll exclude the Virtual Boy, right? That never. Come on, we'll say this now. The Virtual Boy never existed. The N64, and it even. I mean, the volume of games are not even there. There's like what 120 games for the N64. It's life
there's
cycle.
There's 300. There's 300 games.
Okay, there's about 20 good ones, if that. And I'm Hey, you know what? Sometimes
You're in a safe place for now.
I'm in my home. Sometimes the truth hurts. It really does. And like I said, to be honest, the N64 probably has, I'll even say, less than 20 games.
Did you just say your opinion is
games.
Truth? Is that what?
I know my truth. I know my truth. and if you go to the Switch RPG Discord and ask them about me and my opinions, I've said this, and even on my podcast I've said this. I've always said this. The N64 is probably Nintendo's worst console. The Wii U is in fact a better console than the N64. Just my humble opinion.
No,
That's
good.
all.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I know you adore it. I don't know where it stands in your hierarchy, whatever. But for me, see, and that's where I jumped into the PlayStation bandwagon for a little bit. I went to the dark side. I went to the Metal Gear Solid. I went to the better console. I'm gonna be honest, it was a better console at the time. The PlayStation 1 was better than the N64 at the time, and that's where I went. The better games were coming out there. You had, like I said, Metal Gear, you had Killzone, those better games. You didn't think it was going to go this way, did you?
I don't even know what to say right now. I feel like I need an adult.
Well, we're adults here, right? We can handle this. What's going on? Talk to me.
So, more like, it all here's. I mean, it's all going to boil down to
Personal preference,
who you were
for
playing
sure.
with, what you were playing, that kind of stuff. For me, Mario Kart was me and my girlfriend, right? Me and family, like me and friends. GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, the wrestling games, right? Wave Race. I mean,
Yeah, no, I was playing 1080. Tony Hawk was on my PlayStation because the N64 version was terrible. So yeah, I was playing 1080. I was playing Clay Fighter was on Super Nintendo. See, that's what I mean. I can't name good games on there for me. Like, especially RPGs. I'm just talking, again, personal preference. I love RPGs.
Yeah.
And those were pretty much, I mean, there were maybe 4 of them, if that.
wasn't Quest 64?
Yeah,
Just
Quest 64, trash. Then you had Ogre Battle, which is not even really an RPG, trash. Zelda, again, it's not an RPG, so that's a discussion for a different day. So there you go. RPGs, like, there are 3. Like, come on.
Yeah, so here's where here's why the 64 works for me. I've played 2 RPGs, Pokemon Yellow and Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
On what?
To completion.
On the Switch. Oh, on the Switch, you mean?
Those are the only 2 RPGs I've ever completed.
Oh, ever completed?
Total.
What? What are you doing with your life?
Playing shooters. That's why I love the 64, because Perfect Dark was like, I couldn't wait for the GameCube and Perfect Dark 2 to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Melee had her, Joanna Dark's proximity mine, and I was like, here, like, and then Microsoft purchases Rare, and I'm like,
There go your dreams.
I guess I'm going to play Halo.
But I jumped back when the GameCube came out, so all is good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So when did the love for RPG start? Let's go back a little further.
My love for RPGs began with the Super Nintendo, with Secret of Mana. Playing that, and I think that game is available on the SNES Classic.
It is.
Yeah, so it all started with that game,
Okay.
and then kind of branched out from there, playing Final Fantasies on the Nintendo. I went back and played the Final Fantasies on the Nintendo, and kind of, again, Super Nintendo just has a ton of RPGs, and I just I played them. So
There was
kinda
reading
where-
in RPGs, which was what turned me off from them as a kid. I
Well,
was like,
and you know what? Reading in RPGs actually helped me, because I grew up in a very Portuguese household. My nationality is Portuguese. So I didn't speak English until, I don't know, maybe 3rd, 4th grade. So it actually helped me to kind of kind of in real life. So RPGs kind of
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, so it kind of holds a little special place in my heart.
Sure.
And even to this day, I've been really playing them a lot for the YouTube channel, and it's helped my reading tremendously, because reading has always been a tough thing for me, and I attribute it to not speaking English for a while, because in my house all we did was speak Portuguese.
I see.
So I mean, like I said, even now, reading in these RPGs is helping me quite a bit.
Yeah, that's great. That's
so
great.
Where was the deterrence for you? It kept me motivated and going.
Yeah, to me it just felt like a chore. You know,
Sure.
like I was like, I just want to stomp on Goombas. I just want to race my cart. I just want to explore with Metroid, and like, I want the world to tell the story versus having, you know, I've never been much of a reader. And even now, I listen to pretty much all the books that I consume, right? Yeah. And so the yeah, so I think that's where I could see somebody. I could totally see where you're coming from as far as with the 64, when with the departure of, you know, Square and things like that. I mean, you know,
yeah, it was non-existent.
You were kind of left high and dry. Whereas, you know, I think part of what I loved about the 64 is that my roots really are in the arcade. And the 64 has so many just arcade style games, the wrestling, the snowboarding, you know, wave race, all that stuff, very arcadey, right? And so
I would agree to that. Yeah.
I think that's because as we're talking, I'm like, okay, what was the big draw for me? You know, like and what's interesting is just the way it's going to connect with people differently, you know?
Sure.
And I think a lot of, I mean, one of my favorite things to do in the arcade is they had this game where you'd get on a quad and they were side by side, and you could steer, and that's, you know, you would do, you know, going over the jumps and kicking mud all over the place. And it was like, you know, so like Excite Bike 64, I loved the heck out of that. Like, I don't know if anybody else even liked that game, but I loved it.
I don't think the developers liked that game. Like, nobody liked that game. So you were the one who kept them afloat.
Yeah, fair. Sarah Hill crashes again.
But I was an arcade kid too. But I mean, a lot of those games that when the arcade started really kind of dying for me is when the N64 kind of took place. So you had your Mortal Kombats, your Killer Instincts, WWF Royal Rumble, things like that. That's when it was. That was stuff that was all kind of ported over to Super Nintendo. But when it went to the N64, it's just the shapes, like a lot of the characters, just I don't know. It's just, for me, the N64 just doesn't age well. Do you know what I mean? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's no question there. I just beat Mario 64 for the first time last year. So, you know, I played it on the Wii U. The camera was rough. After playing games like Odyssey and Sunshine and Galaxy, like going back to 64 was tough. The thing I love seeing is like Turok on the Switch, how they just really cleaned that. They really cleaned that up. And if they're going to do 64 titles, like, come on, let's give them a little bit of love. Have you gone back and played Ocarina on the 3DS? No, I think I need to maybe just give it another shot. It's been a while. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a while since I've played those games. Maybe I just need to give it another second look. Maybe that's what my problem is. I would do it on 3DS if you're gonna do it anywhere. It's only $20 now, and it looks way better. Like, they updated the graphics and stuff. How about this? I own it, and I haven't played it. It's still shrink wrapped. Okay? You're in good company, my friend. Well, I'm a collector. I mean, I'm called the Nerd Basement for a reason. Like, everything in this, I'm in it right now, and it's just, I have just a bunch of stuff. Yeah. You know, I'm at the flea markets. I'm at whatever, and I collect things, and I probably got that really cheap, and it's still sealed, and I'm probably never gonna play it. But maybe after talking to you, I'll send you a screenshot of it. All right, I'll send you a screenshot. There you go.
There you go. Chat's mentioning Cruisin' USA. I remember the Rush games being good on the 64.
Yeah, those are very arcadey. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blitz was another one I played a lot on the 64. Like,
I do remember that being in the arcade or something similar to that.
yeah, no, it was totally Blitz 99. That
Okay.
kind of stuff. RJS mentioned in Bomberman 64. So I mean, I think, and the other thing is with I loved playing multiplayer in the arcades, right? I mean, I just loved going head to head with people, all that. So the 64 just really lent itself that with the 4-player multiplayer, all that kind of stuff. That was probably one of the biggest draws for me, was just that ability to play with so many people at once. I mean, dude, so much Mario Kart. Like I was a Mario Kart junkie on the Super Nintendo, the 64, GameCube and Wii. I kind of fell off a little bit. The Game Boy Advance game, I kind of fell off a little bit. But the DS, I was hardcore into that one. Mario Kart 7 and now 8. Yeah.
Right.
Like, so those, I mean, again, it's like, okay, I could sit and play. I would rather sit and do Grand Prix, than try to do an RPG or something like that. At least back in the day. Things are changing now. Like, I have picked up other ones. I've picked up like Octopath Traveler and played some of that and things,
Okay.
things like that. And everybody tells me I need to play Chrono Trigger, and so I want to. I actually have 2 copies right now of Secret of Mana in my collection, and then I just at the day before Christmas picked up Secret of Evermore, which I believe is in the same
Same devs. Yeah.
yeah. So, so I do want to try some of these at some point, but like, the Switch needs to slow down on the amount of games coming out if it's ever going to happen. And I don't think
it's
that's
absolutely insane. It's not going to happen at all.
No.
Especially, I mean, I love the third party support. It's all the indie games. Mm-hmm. They just keep piling in.
Yep. I've been playing SteamWorld Quest.
There you go.
There's
some reading involved in there. Granted, it's light reading, but
yeah, and I can skip most of it, so that's good. I kid. The story's actually been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. So, okay, that was fun. We're gonna keep going with the questions. What is one of your favorite Nintendo memories?
It would have to be buying my Super Nintendo. I remember I bought that with my father. A lot of memories surround my family, and I think you could say that with a lot of Nintendo fans, surrounding family and friends with their memories. But I remember going to, it was Kmart. I remember my father paying for. I remember this vividly, and actually I still have my original Super Nintendo with the receipt from it, signed from my father. It's all original. It's one of my most prized possessions. It's an in-box Super Nintendo, and just going to buy that with my father, it was probably my most memorable moment.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. I love it. I can remember the day my mom asked me if I wanted my Super Nintendo, and I already had a second one, so I was like, no, you can go ahead and toss that thing.
Oh man, no.
Yeah, and the one I have, not the original, the Slim, so you can't do S-video with it, that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, no. And I have 2 of the original now, but I'm like, if these things could talk, I don't know, like, were people putting cigarettes out on them? Were they using them to make their sandwiches? I don't know what was happening here.
I don't know what plastics Nintendo used, but all of them turned that nasty, cruddy brown,
that fire retardant.
Is that what it was?
It was a fire retardant. Yeah, there's actually YouTube videos. You can take them apart and you can soak them in certain, and it will make them look brand new.
I don't know that I want to do it though. I like the cruddy look. Yeah. Like even when I go out and buy a game and it's all nasty and like stickers all over it, right on the shelf, just as it was.
Oh, I've got to clean DNA off. I can't leave that on.
Oh, now that you said that. Oh. All right, maybe just some Lysol or something.
You got something. Something. So
I've never looked at it that way now. I should not have done this.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get some hand sanitizer down there. So, okay, here we go. I mean, I think we're already judging you. We'll throw this question out here, but what's a Nintendo game that you haven't played or haven't completed that we're gonna judge you for?
I have never played Majora's Mask. because Ocarina of Time just killed it for me.
Yeah.
In the RPG community, I've never played Chrono Trigger. That's kind of frowned upon, I guess you could say. Would you guys judge me for? Never played Mario Galaxy. A lot of the Marios I haven't really played. I'm sure there's a lot in your chat saying, dude hasn't played, I don't know, something.
No Galaxy at all? Like never even...
No.
Do you
no
own
Galaxy,
it?
No Mario Sunshine.
Do you own it?
No. Nope.
Okay, at least you don't own it.
No Mario 64. I've never played Mario 64.
You're
My...
good company. Did you play Odyssey?
What? Oh yeah, I played Odyssey.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I loved Odyssey. I played that with my son. He's probably better than I am at it.
Okay, you have a Wii U?
I do.
You've got to get
I played Mario 3D World on my Wii U. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's great, but Galaxy is so...
That's the one.
Okay. Did you ever get into Xbox at all? Like 360?
Oh yeah, I have all the Xboxes. I grew up with them. Yeah.
Were you an achievement junkie at all?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What's your gamer score at?
Oh, if I had to guess right now, it'd be... See, I'm mostly Switch right now, and it's been like that for a while. Maybe 30,000.
Okay, that's still pretty high. That's still pretty high. I'm just under 100,000. Okay.
Okay.
So I went pretty hard on achievements. Galaxy was the only game that I stopped playing Xbox and going for achievements to play all the way through to completion.
Okay.
It's that good. It's that good. And if you have a 6-year-old that wants that would like...
Oh, he would love that.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Because you can actually play together. He could use one Wii remote and collect the little shines or whatever, and then while you're controlling Mario and running around, so you can actually kind of just like you did with Odyssey, where one could control the hat, right? That kind of thing. So, oh, you were in for such a treat, my friend. Like this went from I'm going to judge you to like I wish I could be you, like to play Galaxy again for the first time.
That's how I feel with people like who haven't played Breath of the Wild or were playing it for the first time. That's kind of the same situation. I wish I could kind of get that nostalgic that feeling again. Okay.
Oh,
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
You are in for a treat. I promise you. I promise you. It's good. It's good. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. So far, then, what is your favorite game on the Switch?
I put the most time, and it's probably my most favorite game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I love the aesthetic of it. Now, granted, the game doesn't run the best. I think it's more because of the kind of understanding the console. It's one of the first games that it's on there, and it's a really big, massive game. I love when you get more towards the end game or later in the game. I feel like a lot of the mechanics in the fighting or the combat, it almost feels like a rhythm game. The way I was playing, it was kind of like, just because I play the guitar, and it just kind of felt like it was just muscle memory, just kind of holding the controller and managing the combat, managing all the people. And like I said, I love the story in there. The narrative is perfect. The aesthetics are awesome. The environments are beautiful. The music is on point. I don't listen to a lot of game soundtracks, but that is kind of one I put on once in a while if I just want to kind of relax a little bit. So I would have to
with that metal guitar when the battle starts.
It's awesome. I love it.
Same,
now,
dude.
when I actually do stream, on the rare occasion I do stream, that's the one song that I kind of have, kind of like the intro or the bumper right in the beginning, because I absolutely love that. I love that one. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the metal guitar in it.
Yeah, don't forget me, right?
Well, they tried to rectify that situation. I don't know if it helped, but I was kind of way beyond that point when they patched that issue. But that "Don't Forget Me," that was obnoxious.
Yeah, but the power of friendship. So
yeah, and you have that. It's been a while since I played, but the little guy, the Nippon, I forget his name. but he can be obnoxious. But he's so good. He is so good in the combat.
Right. Yeah.
There needs to be a way to toggle their voices.
Just mute everything and
Just mute them all.
So you're gonna probably laugh at this. I'm positive we've talked about it on the show before, but because I skipped over the reading because I was getting annoyed in the tutorial, I didn't even know how to create orbs. Didn't know what orbs were. Oh, and every time I hit a boss that was too hard, I would just go and grind until I was leveled up another like 5 to 10 levels, and then I would go back and fight it without using a single orb. It wasn't until I got to the wall,
Wow,
that I couldn't beat it. And my chat was like, "Why aren't you generating orbs?" And I was like,
say what?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Every now and again, one would magically show up, and I was like, I have no idea what that thing is. Like,
yeah, you gotta build up a lot of elemental orbs and smash them all.
Yeah, I had no clue. I was completely clueless.
Maybe if you slow down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, once you pass that point, you're like you have no idea unless you're told, right?
People were like, "Okay, you need to do like this element of orb," and I'm like, "There's elements in this game."
Yeah, and that's a pretty. I mean, you can grind them down, but man, it takes forever. But having those orbs and bursting them when you have a few of them set up, that makes a very big difference.
Oh, dude, that final boss was like nothing,
right?
Because of that, right? And it was. I mean, the game became so much more enjoyable once I learned how to do that. I mean, it was like you said, there was almost like a rhythm to it. You knew which blades you had to have in and that kind of stuff. And it just, it was, it ended up being a lot of fun, of fun. But
I do have the Torna expansion. I haven't played it, but I heard that's an even better experience. So I'm excited to jump into that at some point anyways. I'm thinking about
playing it on my vacation. That's the one I'm thinking about playing. Either that or a Final Fantasy. I'm trying to decide, but one of the two. I say that, and then I'm just gonna play Smash and Mario Kart the whole time. I know me. I'm gonna take a stack of games with me that I'm gonna beat, and I'm gonna play Mario Kart and Smash.
That's it.
I'm so basic, but oh my goodness. Okay. Well, hey, Gio, this has been fun, man. I think we're gonna wrap this thing up here.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me on. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so where can we find you and find your content?
You can find me on Twitter at the Nerd Basement. You can find the website on Twitter as well, at SwitchRPG. The website SwitchRPG.com. You can also find the YouTube content that I create. It's youtube.com/SwitchRPG. We have. It's not just me who creates content. It's a few other people that help me out, but I do the majority of them. But I think we do a great job in create. I do a lot of the Let's Plays, but I'm starting to get into additional content, like kind of reviews and just kind of stuff other than Let's Plays. But yeah,
gotcha.
You can find us on YouTube.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, thanks again for taking the time to do this. It was. I mean, we worked through our different. I think we proved that on the internet, two people can disagree and still have good conversation.
It's possible, but we have one great thing in common: Nintendo.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think we can go from there.
No, it was fun. I loved watching my chat go what is that? What is happening right now? So, all right, guys. Well, hey, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. All the places are at N64Josh. You can follow this show at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode will be available at n64josh.com/NPC206. If you want to email the show, you got questions, comments, whatever, it's npc@n64josh.com. If you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, Ready Player One. Hopefully soon, another cast will be on there. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, go to n64josh.com/OPC to automatically save $10 at checkout. If you would like to help support the content that I create, you can go to patreon.com/n64josh. And if you want to pick up some merch, go to n64josh.com/store. We have an amazing Discord full of so many great people to talk games with, to play games with, whatever you're looking for. Smash, Mario Kart, Fortnite, Mortal Kombat, whatever's hot, there's always going to be somebody playing it in the Discord. That's n64josh.com/Discord is your invite. Facebook group, which is slowly growing. If you're on Facebook and that's where you like to hang out online, n64josh.com/Facebook group is your invite to that. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for, commenting and connecting with us. We really do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys. There'll be tiny episodes next week, okay? But there will still be something. So we'll see you later. Bye now.
Bye-bye.